So we have a women's NIT update here for the grade 8. So we have the first team that advanced to the grade 8 today. It is the Louisiana Texters. They advanced with a 68-64 win over the Lindenwood Lions. The Texters here are moving on to grade 8. They had a tough finish here to that. They were down, and then Widows put up a good fight in that first quarter, in that first half. They put up a good fight, but then that second half, the third quarter, it was pretty even, But they did lose that lead that they had, and they went to 3. They were down 3 after 3, and then it was just pretty even. Lindenwood couldn't score, couldn't score more, And actually, Louisiana Tech won the quarter by 1. So Louisiana Tech does go to the grade 8 with a 68-64 win at home against Lindenwood. I feel like if Lindenwood would have been at home and wouldn't have had to travel, because Lindenwood has had to travel. They had to travel to Tarleton State in the second round and upset them. Then they traveled straight to Louisiana. Been on the road for almost a week, So they were on the road they traveled on Sunday. Or on Saturday they did, They traveled on Saturday for Sunday's game at Tarleton State. And then they traveled to Louisiana straight away. They didn't know if they were going to play at home, but they knew they weren't because, so they either traveled straight home or they just stayed there. You know what I mean? They were kind of in limbo, though, for a little while. Not knowing if they're going to travel home or where they're traveling to. So maybe I don't know if they did travel back home to campus. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I'm not really sure. I wouldn't think they would, but. And then, so that, And then, they had to travel in on the 25th, early. Once they found out they traveled in on the 25th early, and then, so it's kind of. But they fought hard regardless of the circumstances. And they'll end up making it to. And then Louisiana Tech, though, does make it to the grade 8, though. They play the winner of Abilene Christian. Again, in Illinois State. Is being played at Illinois is being played at, not Indiana, Illinois Wesleyan, Illinois Wesleyan, because Illinois State does host the division, the football championships in Illinois, high school state football championships, because they mentioned, I know that before, because Illinois State was supposed to host an FCS football game, playoff game, but then they couldn't host it due to they am hosting the high school state football championships there, so they just went to and then they just went to the other team's arena. They did, and then it was, and then you have in the top left bracket, you'll have Washington State at North Dakota State and North Texas at Troy. Winners will go to the grade 8 of that one. And then the top right, you have Buffalo at Sarnia and College Trust at Rutgers. Winners will advance to the winners will advance to the winners will advance to the the grade 8, and then on Friday you'll have two games: Keene at Cleveland State and Butler at Purdue for a win. The winners will advance to the grade 8 on Friday night. But you'll know 6 of the 8 or yeah, 6 of the 8 teams that advance to the grade 8. You won't know, and you'll know 3 of the 4 matchups. You'll know where they're playing, the where they're playing, when, like when they're playing, like what day they're playing. Are they playing Saturday the 29th, or are they playing Sunday the 30th, or are they playing Monday the 31st? And you'll find out also who is making it to, and then, so yeah. But you won't know officially until the 28th who's officially playing in all the matchups. You won't know officially because there's still 2 on Friday in between. The Sweet 16 it'll wrap some of the Sweet 16. It'll wrap the Sweet 16 games. So you don't know, but you still know who plays 3 of the 4 matchups tomorrow. And then you have the WBIT quarters, all 4 of them tomorrow. So you do have a little bit busier day. You have 4 WBIT games, and then you have 5 out of the 8 Super 16 WNIT games. So you have 9 games tomorrow out of the 2 tournaments. I should say 2 tournaments. You have 9 games. You have 4 in the WBIT, the quarterfinals, and that where you'll have all 4 quarterfinals, and you'll find out who's going to the semifinals at Hinkle Fieldhouse Monday afternoon. It's 2:30 and 5 Eastern, and they do that so because the NCAA has the right, and they do that so because they do it Monday, Wednesday, while the men's NIT is Tuesday, Thursday. And the men could do it where they play. But I don't think the NCAA wants to rep the men's and women's tournament at all. And this is kind of the best case scenario. You know what I mean? I guess they figured out. I don't know. So I'm just gonna be, it is what it is. Yeah, you'll find out if they play Saturday. I'm assuming most of these will play on Sunday. You could have the bottom right grade 8 game be on Monday. You could have that be on Monday instead. Because that could be Monday, and then the other 3, they could be. I could see them being on Sunday. I could see them being on Monday. I'm not for sure on if they're going to be on Saturday. I want to see it because if Illinois State hosts that one, if Illinois State wins and hosts, I don't think, and they might want to be able to host at home, like on Sunday or Monday, if they're hosting the boys and girls state basketball tournaments. So they might want to be able to host that WNIT team, so they might host 1 to 2. So we'll see though. We'll see how it goes. But it depends, because if you got someone like Troy, and they have to travel to Washington State, say, that would be like a long travel, you know what I mean? So, because they would have like a long bit of travel. You know what I mean? Troy would travel to Washington State. And I mean, Washington State would have to travel back too. So if you have two teams that have to travel back, both have to travel back to you know what I mean? Because they play the same day. So I might not want to do it to where they do it on Sunday, on Saturday, because so I'm expecting on Sunday the games. I'm expecting them on Sunday, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe there's some on Saturday, but I expect most likely Sunday. It's guaranteed Sunday for the bottom right matchup, but most likely it could be Monday. And because a lot of these did do 3 days apart, so if they do the 3 days apart, it'll be on Sunday, and then this one will be on Monday. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, just update on the postseason WNIT. I will do tomorrow. I will do updates on some of the games as well. Tomorrow we'll do some whip around. I will. I just want to watch the Minnesota Gophers game, and then the game starts at. There's a game that starts at 6 Eastern tomorrow. Texas Tech at Florida, so I won't be able to whip around. Texas Tech at Florida. I won't be able to whip around the first half of that game. I should say so. But I will whip around, do some whip around otherwise. You know what I mean? But I will do some whip around. I can't do Trust or Rutgers because I have Flow Sports or Big B Team Plus, either network, the streaming service. Either streaming service that game would have been in regards to hosted, so I can do North Texas at Troy, Portland, and I'll do Portland at Villanova, and I'll do Belmont James Mass, and since Buffalo at Southern US starting at Century Street, and Allen Christian at Illinois State starting at Century Street. Those I usually like to do the 4 earlier. But I will, so yeah, I'm just going to be doing some whip around for about 45 minutes. About maybe half hour, depending on when the pregame coverage starts. It's usually half hour before, so but I will do a half hour whip around then to compensate for roughly 30 minutes of it, maybe to compensate for what I missed, for something. I'll do something, and it'll be the WBIT Texas Tech at Florida. Winner plays Gonzaga and Minnesota. Either Gonzaga or Minnesota. The Gonzaga at Minnesota winner. And the winner of Texas Tech at Florida will know, and they can, in the winner of that game, can watch, have a chance to watch who their potential opponent afterwards. And then the other team, you might be able to watch a little bit of who they play beforehand. Although I would think they'd want more focus on maybe their own matchup. And then you got North Texas at Troy. Match they play the winner of Washington State, not North Dakota State. And then the Portland at Villanova winner plays the Belmont James, and they both play at the same time. So, and then they'll play in Hinkle Fieldhouse Monday, either 2:30 Eastern or 5 Eastern, one of the two. And then the Buffalo at Southern Indiana winner plays the winner of Charleston at Rutgers. And then the Abilene Christian Illinois State winner plays Louisiana Tech. You already know who you're playing, Louisiana Tech. The winner earns right to play Louisiana Tech. So Louisiana Tech can do some scouting in the game. Plus, it is free on YouTube because I think it's at Illinois Wesleyan, not Illinois State. But I wonder if they're going to bring their own, ESPN Plus is going to televise it. I wonder. Because is that Illinois Wesleyan? I looked it up. It is on since Illinois, or they, you know what I mean? So, we'll see how that goes. But either way, we'll see. We'll find out 6 of the 8 grade 8 teams. 5 of more are grade 8 teams, so 6 of the 8 total. And then you'll know all 4 teams advancing to WBIT semifinals Monday at Hinkle Fieldhouse. And there's 2 women's NIT quarterfinals Sunday and Monday, so I'm not really expecting any to be on Saturday. They're expecting them to be Sunday. Probably after the NCAA Women's Championship. Most likely. I could see that. And then, and then I could see them being women's NIT quarterfinals on Monday, though. I don't know if they'll overlap with the WBAT semis. Who knows? I think they would probably overlap with the, if there was any on Monday, they'd overlap with the NCAA Women's Championship. So, but we'll see, though. And if there's 3 of them on 31st, with WBIT semifinal, I mean, I actually know. If there's 3 women's NIT quarterfinals on Monday, I'll be able to do whip run. If not, well, I can't really do whip run because actually, I could. I could do whip run regardless because if there's 2 of them, because I can do 2 of them. And then there's NJCAA games. When there's 2 of them, there's the semifinals on Monday of the NJCAA Division 1 tournament. So, I'll be able to whip run with them, with both semifinals mixed in.